Sambhuti and Mahasambhuti. The subject of today's discourse is Sambhuti and Mahasambhuti. In the Vedas it has been said, Sambhutinsha Vinanshan Vinashansha Yastad Vedo Bhayam Shaha Vinashena Mrityum Tirtva Sambhutya Mrita Mashnute. It is better for people to understand Brahma in both its aspects, Sambhuti or creation and Vinasha or transformation. Through Vinasha, changing from one form to another, they overcome death, and through Sambhuti, the gift of a human body, they gain a chance for immortality. What is the meaning of Mahasambhuti? To acquire knowledge about Mahasambhuti, you must first understand Sambhuti and Vinasha. The word Sambhuti is derived as prefix sam, root verb suffix ktin, which combine to mean literally proper development, proper origin. What is proper development or origin? When something is created, it is called Sambhuti, but when people create something new out of some existing fundamental stuff, it is not called Sambhuti. There are certain fundamental elements which human beings cannot create, but out of which they can create various objects. These objects are called elements, and all are included in Sambhuti. Actually, Sambhuti is a special creation of Paramapurusha. What do we mean by Vinasha? Vinasha is derived as Vinash gain. Usually we come across three such words, Nasha, Vinasha and Pranasha. What we call destruction in ordinary language is called Nasha. When an object is transformed and cannot be brought back to its original form, it is called Vinasha. For example, when a 5-year-old boy grows into a 25-year-old man, it signifies a major change. Whereas the growing body of the 5-year-old gone, it has been annihilated. When an object returns to its original source after being annihilated, it is called Pranasha. Pranasha signifies destruction also, but of a different nature. For example, when you prepare puri, unleavened bread, puffed by deep frying, out of wheat flour and then transform it back into wheat flour, this is Pranasha. Let us take another example. Sugar is made from cane juice. If the sugar is transformed back into cane juice, that will be Pranasha. In brief, Sambhuti means an original creation, and Vinasha is the total destruction of an object which cannot be transformed back to its original source. The fundamental stuff of the universe has merged from Paramapurusha, as all objects big and small are the Sambhutis of Paramapurusha. This Sambhuti or creation is divided into various worlds: physical, plant, animal and human. Inanimate and inanimate beings are divided into various branches and sub-branches, which are also the creations of Paramapurusha. In ordinary language, they can also be called avatara. When Paramapurusha is manifested in some physical object, that physical object is called the avatara of Paramapurusha. The word avatara is derived as ava plus tr plus gain. How diversified is the creation of Paramapurusha? What striking differences there are among objects. Even in the plant world, some plants are quite developed, while others are totally undeveloped. In the living world, the protozoic body is undeveloped, but the Mesozoic body is developed. There is tremendous complexity within the flow of evolution of living beings. The undeveloped creatures of the living world are called Jiva Koti, and those which are highly developed are called Ishvara Koti. The entire gamut of evolution, from protozoic cells up to human beings, are called Jiva Kotis. These Jiva Kotis living beings evolve through psychic and social clash. For example, those people who are dull and unintelligent today are sure to develop one day in the gradual process of evolution. When they become highly intelligent people, their their physical capacity will also increase. Through intensive self-culture, a jiva koti can achieve a lot. Thus one should not worry. Those who have taken the shelter of Paramapurusha will certainly emerge in him. Like jiva kotis, the other branches and sub-branches of creation have originated from Paramapurusha. You are not the actual owner of your physical and intellectual strength and spiritual power. All these things have come from Paramapurusha. All these powers have their limits, but Paramapurusha is the source of all power. In a jiva koti, strength can develop only to a certain degree, for the capacity of development of living beings is limited. This is why they are called jiva kotis. Suppose a certain man is trying to increase his physical strength through physical exercise. His strength can increase only to a certain degree. The physical strength of human beings is such that it cannot increase beyond a certain point. In exactly the same way, a certain person may develop the power of memory, but this development can take place only up to a certain age. Once that age is reached, there can be no further improvement. An ordinary human being can never become omniscient. And what does Ishvara Koti mean? In Ishvara Koti there is a greater manifestation of divinity. A jiva koti, by virtue of sincere and ardent spiritual practice, can elevate itself to Ishvara Koti. Both jiva koti and Ishvara Koti are creations of Paramapurusha. Thus, in the gradual process of evolution, they will become one with Brahma one day. In the Vedas it has been said, Eshuha deva pradishonu sarva purvo hayataha sa ugarbe anta sa eva yataha saha yanishya manaha pratyam yanam shtitashtate sarvato mukhaha Eshuha deva pradishonu sarva. Each direction is a creation of Paramapurusha. He exists in all four directions. There are considerable differences in recommendations as to which way one should face while sitting in meditation or worship. Some say east, some say west, others advise north. Superstitious people consider the south to be inauspicious, as to the south is supposed to be death's door. But the sage says that all the Pradesha cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, all the Anudisha secondary points, north, east, northwest, southeast, southwest, above and below, are the Sambhutis of Paramapurusha. So which way should people face? He pervades all the directions. All are his creations. Thus it is not necessary to face always in one direction. Purvo Yahayata, those objects which existed in the distant past, were also his creation. For instance, this planet Earth was created after dissociation from the Sun about 8,000 million years ago. At that time, this Earth was only a gaseous substance, but that too was a creation of Paramapurusha. Subsequently, that gas cooled and gradually solidified to form the Earth. This metamorphosis took place around 2,230 million years ago, long before the advent of human beings. Naturally, there was no question of anyone ascribing any name to it. As the earth gradually cooled, many layers of rock were formed under the crust. Each of these layers is also a creation of Paramapurusha, created by certain temperatures, pressures, and atmospheric conditions. In brief, whatever was created in the past was the Sambhuti of the Supreme Entity. The totality of all the Sambhutis is this universe. The totality of all the Sambhutis is this universe. All the entities, from the mighty sun to the tiny ant, are a part of this universe. All the celestial bodies, living, dying, or dead, all the nebulae, galaxies, and the Milky Way are members of the same universal family. A galaxy is vast, an ant is tiny, yet both have equal importance in maintaining the balance of the universe. If even an ant dies prematurely, that mishap may disturb the balance of the universe. Nothing in this universe is unimportant, not even a tiny ant. Suppose an ant moves an inch from the east to the west on a stone. If the balance of the stone is jeopardized by this change, this incident may be the cause of a major earthquake, because ants are also his Sambhuti. Through excavation, we have discovered many fossils of animals and plants. These discoveries prove that in ancient times various gigantic animals existed, most of which have become extinct. All that remains are the fossilized bones of their bodies. Various ages, Archean, Mesozoic, Oligocene, Eocene, etc., have come and gone. Each of these ages had its respective animals and plants, which became extinct in a subsequent age. Each age is a Sambhuti. Each animal, plant, and geological layer is also a Sambhuti. Nothing is unnecessary. About 1,700,000 years ago, towards the end of the Miocene age and the early part of the Oligocene age, the Australopithecine came onto this earth. That animal is now extinct, but its successors, such as orangutans, chimpanzees, and gorillas, still exist. One branch of that group evolved into human beings. Hence, the first ancestors of human beings should be called Australopithecine and not Kashyapa or Bharadvaja, names of early clan leaders. The ancestors of human beings are monkeys. So monkeys are the relatives of human beings. All things that came on earth in the past were Sambhutis of Paramapurusha, Saugarbhanta. Those beings which existed in the past are not the only Sambhutis. Those who will be born in the future will also be his Sambhutis. Our ancestors used to say in ancient times, Aham Gashami, I'm going. Later on this was changed into Aham Gashata Huim. Still later the sentence was changed into Mani Yahata Hani. Finally it became Mani Yatta Hun in modern Hindi, 1000 years from now. The same sentence will be changed into Mai Jani. As you see, one Sambhuti is dying, yielding its place to a new one. Whatever will come will be an expression of Parampurusha. The changes will be of form and sound only. Whatever will come will be an expression of Parampurusha. The changes will be of form and sound only. Sayavayata, whatever we see as at present is his Sambhuti also. Nothing in this universe is unimportant, though it may be small or petty. Take the case of alcoholics. To others they are degraded persons, but one has no right to hate them. Hatred is not an expression of moral courage. It is definitely not a praiseworthy tendency. Sayavayataha saha yanishyamanaha. If all the objects of this universe are the creations of Paramapurusha, how can you hate anyone or anything? How is it possible to meditate on one divine expression and hate another? Mahasambhuti is the object of your ideation. There are certain entities which take a long time in undergoing internal and external changes. For example, during the Cretaceous age, this earth was populated by gigantic animals which had immense bodies full of fat. The geography of this earth is constantly changing. Where the sea is surrounded by land on three sides, it is called a bay. For instance, the Bay of Bengal. The water of a bay is not ruffled by the high waves of the sea. The carcasses of many animals and creatures used to wash into the waters of such bays and accumulate there. This process resulted in the creation of Sargasso seas. The carcasses would form a layer on the surface of the water so thick that small animals could even walk on it. When this hard crust